You're so young, you're 22.
Yeah.
Ah! We love you, but we also hate. I'm just kidding. Ah! Hailee Steinfeld, so great to have you on Sunrise.
Thank you.
We're huge fans of your work, and we've been following your career since you were so little. I mean, you were nominated for an Academy Award when you were 14 for True Grit. You're a multi-platinum selling musical artist. And this is your first full-time TV series.
Yes.
Why this character? Why this project?
Well, I couldn't think of a better project to sort of, you know, experience my first venture into the TV space with. It's something that is so unlike anything I've ever read, and it's so different and interesting and shocking at times, and just wild overall. So something I really connected with when I read, and wanted to be a part of it.
It's so interesting because it's set in Victorian era. You know, it's a period piece technically, and yet it is so not a period piece. It feels very, very contemporary.
Right.
Not just the music and all that, which we'll talk about in a second, but really like the themes, you know, of fighting to be an equal, regardless of what your gender is.
Absolutely.
And, what were some of those, the themes in this that kind of connected with you and feel relevant today?
I mean, I think the reason this show doesn't feel like a period piece is because just about every theme in it is so modern. And I think what's so shocking about the show and exciting and sometimes heartbreaking and sad is that there are so many parallels that we are dealing with today that this show deals with and takes place in the 1850s.
For example, at that time women were not considered equal, and yet we're still fighting for equal pay. Like, what are some of the things in particular that kind of connected?
Well, I think with a character like Emily Dickinson, she fought to be heard and understood as an artist and as a woman, and I think that I can definitely relate to that. I think that, this show is about not putting people in a box, and that, is on from every aspect of life, gender, sexuality, and anything and everything. This show sort of deals with that, and I relate to a lot of it.
It was interesting. I heard that you said that you could have really used a character like this a few years ago. What did you mean by that?
A character that just fully embraces who she is and accepts that she doesn't always know what's right or what's wrong, but what she does know and what gets her through every day is what she knows she has to do to be creatively fulfilled and to write. And she stops at nothing. I mean, the things that she actually did in reality, and you'll see in our show, is she would go as far as dressing up in men's clothing and sneak into lectures just to, be educated on something she was interested in. And the fact that that was forbidden is just astonishing. But she tackles every constraint that is in her way. And you
got some personal kind of empowerment from playing such a pioneer.
Absolutely. No, I definitely feel so lucky not only to have this now to sort of reference and watch and relate to, but to have embodied this character. I do feel like there is a part of her drive and fearlessness that's now in me.
I remember when I was 22, I felt a certain urgency to get as much out as possible, that I felt like, I know that Emily Dickinson is, because so many people are dying in that period, she feels that death is, almost at her doorstep, and she befriends it,
Right.
Was that interesting to play when you're so young?
Yeah, it definitely, I think what's so interesting to me and why I'm so excited for a young audience to be introduced to her work is that she talks about literally every, what feels like every emotion under the sun, and talks about it. And I think there are a lot of things that people don't necessarily talk about today that she addresses in her poetry, and whether or not she at times intended for people to read it or not, it's so great that, death, for example, she sort of looks at death as another form of life, a place where she can go and be free and creative, and it's just so interesting, her outlook on life and death and everything in between. But I do think that she had a sense of now, and she has a poem called "Forever is Composed of Nows," and I think that people do move so fast now, and it's all about how many places can I be in at once, and I've been in a lot at once before, and I'm kind of now at that place in my life, I think, where it's like, now is what matters, right here and right now. Gotta learn to like have everything shut down for a little bit.
Put the phone away.
Put the phone away. Yeah,
be
for
present.
sure. Be present.
Well,
exactly.
thank you for sharing the now with me.
Yeah, of course.
I can't wait for audiences to see this.
Thank you so much.
Yay.